who is doing the intro today?
Yeah, we don't have a Trippy now.
Yeah,
So,
we don't have a Trippy.
dang.
Trippy failed us.
I think I did the one before. I think I did 39.
Okay, I'll do this one. Ain't no big deal.
All right.
I'll do this one.
Sweet.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the 41st episode of the broadcast. And here with me today, I have Miss Eva.
Yo.
And I have Miss Bunny.
Hello.
And I'm here with a voice that's barely hanging on. When I woke up this morning, I had no voice.
What happened there?
I don't know. Last night, my throat was itching and burning. I could barely, swallow. My ears are burning. My ears are burning right now and ringing a little bit. And I've been drinking, hot chocolate. Now I'm drinking orange juice. And, yeah. So, I woke up.
You ain't getting sick.
Yeah, I'm getting sick.
I hope it's not the vid.
The what?
The vid, the C word.
Oh, God, I hope not. It better not be.
Yeah.
I've gone this whole time without it, okay?
Me too.
Yeah. It sounds like that's how it starts off, though. So,
Ma'am, it's
I don't
a
wanna
regular cold.
instill panic.
She's like, I don't want to instill panic. Well, if I have it, let me tell you something. I am traveling all the way to Australia to give you a big old hug and a kiss so you can
great.
get it too, okay?
Yeah,
How about that?
I'll get it the third time.
Well, I
That'll
want
be
it
great.
too.
Yeah.
Well, I'll stop by your house on the way to Australia, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So today, Ruby Franke pled guilty to 4 out of the 6 charges. And we have two articles about it, and then I actually have the video.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay. This article here by Page 6, it's named YouTuber Ruby Franke. I always say her last name wrong. Ruby Franke pleads guilty to child abuse with deepest regret and sorrow. Oh my God, when she said that line, I wanted to chokeslam her. Disgraced YouTube star Ruby Franke pled guilty on Monday to 4 felony counts of second-degree aggravated child abuse. I don't understand how it's second degree, but we're going to keep going. The Utah mother of 6 who rose to fame as the host of vlog 8 Passengers will be sentenced on February 20th, 2024. With my deepest regret and sorrow for my family and my children, guilty. A shaky-sounding Franke is heard saying in court. Franke's attorney didn't immediately return Page 6's request for comment. On Friday, however, the law firm representing her announced that she would enter a plea agreement. Franke, 41, who has remained behind bars without bail since her arrest in August, is pursuing a personal growth and rehabilitation by apologizing to and attempting to reconcile with her family.
Nah, it's gone too far. I would have been like, stuff you. Nah, stay in there and rot.
Yep.
Yeah.
The first statement also accused Franke's business partner, Jody Hildebrandt, who was arrested alongside the internet sensation for leaving Franke systematically isolated from her family, causing her to develop a distorted sense of morality. Initially, Miss Franke believed that Jody Hildebrandt had the insight to offer a path to continual improvement, the statement read of the Connection's co-founder. Miss Hildebrandt took advantage of this quest and twisted it into something heinous.
Right, so she's blaming Jody.
Yeah.
Why do you think she probably took that plea deal?
Yep.
She's turned to the state.
Right.
Yep.
Franke's husband, Kevin, filed for divorce in November. Oh, that's cute. But his attorney said that he had been separated for more than a year at the time she was taken into police custody. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, over here on CBS News had an article. Parenting advice, YouTuber Ruby Franke pled guilty to 4 counts of child abuse. Okay, so here, Ruby Franke was originally charged with 6 counts of child abuse in September, and 2 counts were dropped under the plea deal.
Oh.
See, that's why that's why I hate the plea deal stuff, because that's just dirty. That feels so wrong to me.
Yeah, that like the full extent needed to be happening to her, because she's just
Yeah.
gross.
Mm-hmm.
She's just
Yeah, and that
gross.
takes away, I feel like, from what she did to those 2 other kids, I guess. Like, they're just, like, I don't know. She abused all of them, so she should be charged for all of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Pleaded not guilty to 2 other counts, court records said, and was returned to custody after the hearing. Under Utah law, second-degree aggravated child abuse can be charged if that person knowingly or intentionally inflicts serious physical injury to a child, or cause or permits another to inflict serious physical injury to their child. Each charge carries a sentence of 1 to 15 years in prison. And the judge told her whatever time he ends up giving her, she's going to have to do them consecutively.
Yeah. Good.
So, this is what the lawyer said. Ruby Franke is a devoted mother and is also a woman committed to her constant improvement. Windward Law said in a statement, Franke initially believed that her co-defendant Jody Hildebrandt had the insight to offer a path to continual improvement. But said that Hildebrandt took advantage of this quest and twisted it into something heinous. In the plea agreement, Franke admits that she tortured her son from May 22nd through August 30th by forcing him into hours of physical task, summer work outdoors without adequate water, and repeated and serious sunburns that blistered. He was denied food or given very plain meals, and he was isolated from the other people without access to books, notebooks, or electronics.
Far out.
After he tried to run away in July, his hands and feet were regularly bound, sometimes with handcuffs.
That is so gross.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
makes me sick.
God.
At times, ropes were used to tie together handcuffs that secured his hands and feet as he lay on his stomach, lifting his arms and legs off the ground and injuring his wrists and ankles, the plea agreement said.
Wow. It's crazy how many things they did that are going to cause like very long-term effects, like the injuries to his wrist and ankles, the blister, like the sunburn that could give him skin cancer in the future. Like, you just really didn't give a shit about your kid.
Yeah, it's like not even the physical effects, like the emotional stuff that you have to go through as well. Like they are scarred for life.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's something that you're going to look back at and like, you know, my mother didn't love me if that's what she was doing to me. You know what I mean? And like, them have so much emotional turmoil throughout all this.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so bad for them. That is so horrible.
It's horrible.
Franke also admitted to kicking her son while wearing boots, holding his head underwater, and sealing his mouth and nose with her hands, according to the plea agreement. He was also told... Yeah. He was also told that everything that was being done to him were acts of love.
Ugh. No, this makes my skin crawl. I didn't even know it was like that.
Yeah, that's emotional manipulation as well. That is so sickening.
The 9-year-old daughter was also forced to work outside, run on dirt roads barefoot, and go without food and water. She was also repeatedly told she was evil and possessed. The punishments were necessary for her to be obedient and repent, and these things were being done to her in order to help her, the plea agreement said. The girl was convinced what her mother said was true.
That is so sad.
That's sick. That's sick. During Franke's incarceration, she has actively engaged in introspection that has allowed her to reset her moral compass and understand the full weight of her actions. Miss Franke is committed to taking responsibility for the part she played in the events leading up to her incarceration, the statement said. The boy told investigators that Jody put the ropes on his ankles and wrists, and they used cayenne pepper and honey to dress the wounds caused by the ropes, according to the search warrant. We knew about that part. And they were talking about the YouTube channel there. And we're talking about so this right here, I wanted to pull up this article because that article had more in depth about what happened with the kids.
Yeah. That makes me feel sick.
Yeah, no, it's very sickening. It's very sickening. Very,
there
very
ain't
sickening.
no amount of time they could give this woman that would make up for what she did to them.
No, not at all. I will say this, and people were like, well, at least the kids don't have to go on the stand. They were in Jody's house. Jody participated in it. What makes you think those kids don't have to go on the stand?
Because they still have to trial Jody. They still have to,
if Jody doesn't do a plea agreement, what makes you think that Ruby's kids wouldn't have to go on stand?
Yeah.
So then what was the whole point of her getting a plea agreement then?
Yeah, because you need to figure out, like, the extent of her involvement as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's everybody's point, though. Everybody's point is at least the kids don't have to go on the stand. Yes, they very well may have to go on the stand against Jody.
Yeah.
It was done in Jody's house, and Jody participated in it. So then, what's the point of giving this bitch a plea agreement when it should have went to trial?
Yeah.
It should have went to trial. And why were 2 of them dropped?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. All her bullshit about, I've looked inward and I've now recalibrated my compass and I feel so bad about this. That's bullshit, because if you're actually going to be repenting for something, you're not going to want to take some kind of deal. You're going to want to serve your time for everything you did.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you felt that badly about it, then take it the full extent of the law. Don't try and make a plea out of it. Try and get out of it more. Especially the fact that, like, she's, like, trying to blame Jody for most of what she did. As we were saying earlier, like, a lot of what she did was before Connections was involved.
Exactly. That's my thing, and this is what's irritating me. If Jody doesn't take a plea agreement, okay, and it goes full trial on Jody, she flipped and started working for the state. This was those children's mother. She, above everyone else, should get the full extent of the law and not a plea agreement.
Yep.
She was their mother.
Yep. They trusted her. They are meant to trust their own mother, and, like, for her to say, like, oh, you're the devil and you've what else? What did she say, that you've got Satan in you or something like that? Like, that is the most grossest thing to be able to inflict on a child, to try and mentally get them in that headspace that everything that they're doing is because they are wrong or it's their fault, and that to me is just one of the grossest things that any mother can do to a child.
Yes.
And the fact that they believed her. They were saying, so I must be like this if that's the way my mother's acting towards me. Like, that's so pitiful. I feel so bad. I feel so bad for those kids.
They're concentrating on when she went to Jody's house. They're not concentrating on the abuse that happened to those kids before she got hooked up with Jody.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there was most certainly abuse before that time period.
Why aren't they bringing any of that up?
Great question. They're more focused on Jody and Connections. That's what they're doing. That's all this is. They're more focused on Jody and Connections. They could actually be more focused on both of them.
Yeah. Honestly, they should probably have 2 totally separate, like, I don't know how any of this trials.
Well,
Jody is the business stuff, and then the stuff that happened to the kids. I don't know.
Well, Jody is up on the 27th of December. She comes up for her part on the 27th, 2 days after Christmas. But no, I'm sorry. I still say it. All adults in the situation have let those kids down, including the court system. Because I think it's a letdown that they let her even do a plea agreement. That is gross to me.
We need to get rid of the whole plea agreement. I've never agreed with that. I've always thought that's kind of like...
I don't mind it in certain situations. It's just with this one, and you got kids involved, and there's no question whatsoever those kids were abused. There's no question to it. You cannot tell me there was a question to it. You allow her to plea out when you know for a fact they were abused? Like, what?
Yeah, I just can't imagine how that makes them kids feel. Like,
Yeah.
what they went through is negotiable. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels gross.
Yeah, it does. All right, so let's watch this.
Yes.
Ms. Franke is now here. Mr. Winward, we are scheduled for a waiver hearing. Is there going to be a waiver today?
There will, plus a plea agreement, Your Honor.
All right.
I'll ask the bailiff to hand you if it's been executed.
All right.
Look at that look on her face. Oh my God, I can't stand this woman. I can't stand this woman.
She
Right.
went in there with a little grin on her face too.
Yeah.
I was like, shut up.
Mr. Winward, you have discussed with Ms. Franke a preliminary hearing, what's involved in a preliminary hearing. She understands she has a right to a preliminary hearing on all of the charges in the case. She understands what the charges are, and she's prepared to waive a preliminary hearing in the case on all charges.
She is, and that is contained in this agreement on page 7 as well.
Very good. All right, I've been handed a plea agreement, and it appears to be signed by Ms. Franke. Ms. Franke, did you sign this agreement?
Yes,
And you did that today? When did you sign it?
on the 18th,
Okay. You've read it carefully?
every word.
Your signature represents to the court that you've read it carefully, that you understand what you've read, and that you agree to all of the terms. Is that all accurate?
Yes,
You've had sufficient time to
I want to get a copy of that plea agreement
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested.
just to read everything in it.
ask questions of your counsel, to go over any questions you have. You're ready to go forward.
yes,
You don't need any more time.
I'm ready.
You know what's pissing me off about this whole thing? She does not have to sit in front of a jury and the world doesn't need to know the intricate details of what she did to those kids.
Yep, especially since so much of their lives was so public.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what pisses me off about the whole plea agreement. They are not going to go through every little thing that she did to those kids. So the whole world knows it. And that is so disgusting to me. Because if anything, that probably would hurt her the most. Is to everybody know how evil she really was.
Yeah.
Ms. Franke, is anyone pressuring you to enter into this agreement?
No,
Anyone promising you anything I haven't been told about?
no,
Anything that's not in the written plea agreement?
no,
Are you under the influence of alcohol or drugs today?
no,
Is there anything today that could in any way interfere with your ability to understand the agreement, its consequences, anything?
no,
No physical condition, no medication, nothing?
no.
Any further record, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
I am so angry about this. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Mr. Winward, we ready to proceed?
We are ready to proceed.
All right, then. Ms. Franke, how do you plead to count 1, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
To count 3, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
To count 5, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
And to count 6, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
With my deepest regret and sorrow for my family and my children, guilty.
Oh, f*** off.
Yeah. Oh, she practiced that. You can see she practiced that like far out.
Off. And you know what? I go back and I always think about Jody Hildebrandt's niece, what they said about Jody. And remember, they kept saying it's Jody. It's not Ruby. Remember, she kept saying that. I think she got worse when she got with Jody because the abuse got worse. But it's still her because she was abusing those kids before she even got with Jody.
Oh, yeah.
With deepest regret. No, we're going to listen to that bullshit line she said.
Aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony.
With my deepest regret and sorrow for my family and my children, guilty.
There is a...
Were you feeling sorrow when you were putting handcuffs on him and when he was being tied up and you were making him work outside and get sunburn off of sunburn at the sunburn? I mean, what?
Yeah, or
Yeah,
holding them
no.
underwater or any of that other sick
Yeah.
crap. Like,
Not feeding them, not giving
Yeah.
them any sort of actual nourishment or nurture from what a mother should be doing. No. Nah. You can literally go get fucked. You can be put under the jail, thank you.
Yeah, under the jail.
Yes.
I don't need to watch any more of this. I just wanted y'all to hear what she said because I don't give a shit about the rest. I'm so angry about this plea deal, and I hope Jody gets it too. I hope Jody gets it too. Believe me, I hope she gets everything she gets. The sentence, each sentence is 1 to 15 years. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's a possibility she has to do 60 consecutive years.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
then
then
that's
there's
the
also a
maximum.
possibility she could only get like
4.
5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
4 or
4
5.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so messed up.
No, but I don't know. This whole thing, the plea deal, I can't believe they gave her a plea deal. I think that is such an injustice. And the sad thing is I bet you Jody Hildebrandt ends up with more time than Ruby Franke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, since she took the first plea deal, that probably is how it'll go.
And that sickens me because she was a
Yep.
mother. Her first
Yep.
job in life is to protect those kids.
Yep.
And she ends up with less time than Jody. Oh my God. I am not going to be happy. I am not going to be happy. That's so
I
gross
just
to
don't-
me.
I just don't understand how they can't take, the YouTube channel, the 8 Passengers channel as, I guess, evidence of what she did
Yeah.
beforehand. Because, they always had, that strict parenting style or whatever they're saying. But, they always withheld food from their kids. They withheld Christmas presents as punishment. Ruby, made her son, Chad, sleep on a beanbag for, 7 months.
Yep.
And took his bed away. That they said that that sleeping arrangement was Chad's choice instead of sharing a room with the younger brother. I'm like, no, that's not a choice. No kid
Yeah.
will choose to sleep on a beanbag for 7 months.
Yeah.
That in itself would fuck up any kids growing,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, she did so much stuff that could medically fuck them up down the line.
yeah.
Like, they could be about, over all the stuff their mama did to them, and then boom, they got skin cancer, or they've got, something severely wrong with their spine from sleeping on a beanbag chair. I mean, it would just bring it all back up.
Yeah,
It's just
and this was
horrible.
something. Yeah, and this was something that was highlighted back 3 years ago before
Yeah.
the involvement. They had a petition come up. I remember, in
Yes.
2020, where they were trying to get child services to be called and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that might have been when she would send her kid to school without lunch and then tell the teachers not to give her food and stuff. That was well before Jody.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly. And she ends up...
yeah.
Oh my God. I hope to God she does not end up with less time than Jody. I would be... Oh my God. Oof.
Yeah.
But they're going to take Jody down for a lot. Jody's not just going to be
Uh-huh.
going down for child abuse. Jody's probably going to go down because of how that business was ran. Jody's
Uh-huh.
probably going to go down for a lot. They have to make an example out of Jody. And the reason why they have to make an example out of Jody, because of how much the Mormon church was involved with Jody.
Right.
Mhm.
So,
Apparently, a lot of the judges and stuff like that are Mormon as well. So,
Yep.
they would try and make an example out of them
Yep.
for the way
Yeah.
that they've been treating and how they besmirched the Mormon name and stuff like that. So,
exactly.
I
That's
really
exactly
hope
my point.
I really hope there's another trial for everything before Hildebrandt, and I hope Hildebrandt's also taken to full extent too, because she's just gross. But
They're all
Yeah.
gross. I want the father charge from before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them.
Because he was part of it in the beginning, before Jody came
Uh-huh.
around. He was part of it. I want him charged.
Yes.
I also just want to know, like, how many other cases there is that Jodi Hildebrandt has been involved in. Like, this is obviously a high-profile case where a lot of people know the situation because she's got a very, like, huge YouTube channel. But what about all of the other families and stuff that she's made herself involved in that have, like,
Yes.
probably similar situations
Yeah.
that nobody knows about because they aren't, like, a content creator,
Yes.
Like,
And I
that to
think that's
me-
why she's turned to the state. The state is using Ruby to take down Jodi.
Right.
They are taking down Jodi for more than just the child abuse. She as a matter of fact, yeah, she's going to get more time than Ruby because it's more than just the child abuse.
Yeah.
It's going to be
It's
more than that.
It's abuse of her practice. Like,
Yeah.
It's you're describing one way to try and help and, like, make families closer, and, like, it's more of like a therapy or something like that, like the way that she's designed, like, her
Yeah.
connections or whatever. But really, she's just isolating everybody. Didn't she say to a whole bunch of women that, like, their husbands were, like, all addicts, like whether they're sex addicts or alcohol addicts or something like
Yes.
Oh
that,
yeah,
to be
she
able
would
to
make
isolate them?
she would make the men all believe they were porn addicts, alcohol addicts, sex addicts, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she
I'm
make them
telling
to
you.
isolate the family. Yeah, she's just an evil piece of work. Like,
Yeah, something weird's gonna end up coming out about her, like swooping in and sleeping with all these women or something weird.
you reckon? Yeah, well,
I don't. That's what it feels like. Like, why is she cutting all the men out of these
Yeah.
like families? It's
men are evil, apparently.
suspicious.
Yeah.
Yep.
God
Disgusting.
damn. Yeah.
It's really, really disgusting. But no,
Yeah.
I mean, that's it so far. She's got a plea agreement. Jodi Hildebrandt is going to be December 27th, and we're going to see what happens there. I don't know if she's getting a plea agreement. I don't know any of that, so
Better not.
I don't think she will. I don't think they're offering it to her. Because remember, there was a report where Jodi was freaking out because Ruby wasn't talking to her.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
It could have already been in the works at that point.
Do you reckon that she's gonna plead guilty?
Who, Jodi?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question. That's a
I
really
wonder
good
how
question.
mad. Wonder how mad she is that Ruby flipped. I wonder if she might spill some new stuff just out of spite.
She might. That might be
Yeah.
amazing because you never know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You never know. You never know. Anyway, any last thoughts on this?
How they all burn in hell for what
Yes.
they've done.
Amen.
Amen on that. I don't even believe in Sky Daddy, but I hope they burn in hell, every single one of them. Because that's where they deserve to be. They deserve to be
Yeah.
under the prison. I don't even want them actively in the prison. I want them under the prison. Period,
Yeah.
point blank, period. All right. Well, thank you for watching the 41st episode of the broadcast. Unfortunately, we had to give you this news about Ruby Franke. I'm not happy with it, as seen on Twitter.
Yeah.
I am angry. I am angry about it. But, all right, ladies, well, go ahead and tell everybody goodbye so we can get out of here.
Everybody.
Goodbye.
All right. Peace out.